Let's talk about DeSantis and Trump. Now, I imagine for many conservative voters and academics and activists in America, they want DeSantis to run and Trump not to run. And for the following reason. As you mentioned, Trump was unappealing to many voters. His approval ratings are still low. And he is crass and he can be rude. And as you say, he's got many advantages. All the Supreme Court picks and all the other foreign policy achievements he has are fantastic. But as a personality, he is divisive, and his actions during the last election, post-election period, were very controversial at the time. So, do you think that there's any chance that DeSantis could run and Trump and beat Trump, or Trump wouldn't run? Because it looks like Trump is going to run.
Yeah, I think the betting odds are that he's going to run, and we're in a dilemma because people say, and I think you reviewed the dilemma that conservatives have very carefully. What we know is that nobody is running on a McCain-Romney agenda. Nobody is saying, well, we need more people, let's open the border, that wasn't too bad, or we've got to have radical transitions to green energy. So when Mitt Romney opens his mouth and articulates a position, it has zero support. So the Trump agenda, for better or for worse, is now the orthodox agenda of conservatives. Everybody agrees with that. Then the question is, who is the best taskmaster to implement that? And Trump did pretty well. He wouldn't have had the agenda in the first place enacted. But people were weary, and now they're in a period of introspection where we're worried because the media just went crazy and Trump brought them out of the woodwork. And if that's so, maybe we should just not be worried and fight them back now they've exposed themselves. Or why don't we have somebody who is more subtle and can not just push these gratuitous buttons, but be as direct in implementing the agenda? And I think the $64,000 question that nobody knows is, would a character figure like a DeSantis, Pompeo, whoever they are, would they be able to fill an arena with people? Would they have the fire in the belly, or would they be contextualized and tempted and compromised, is the way that all politicians are? We look back in the 2016, it was the greatest, we were told, the greatest field of conservative nominees we've ever had, would-be nominees. And remember that Scott Walker was very similar to DeSantis. He was a very effective purple state governor. He had fought the unions. He was absolutely unyielding in their opposition. They tried to smear him, and everybody thought he's tough. He's run a state. He's dealt with the left, and he completely imploded on the stage. So what I'm getting at is we don't know how DeSantis will do. He's doing very well right now, and he's very combative, and he doesn't yield, and he's well-spoken. His resume is sterling, but we don't know how he'll do on the Sturm und Drang of 16, 18 months. So I think everybody should have an open mind. We don't know what Trump is going to do. We don't know if it's within him to say, you know what, I had the agenda, I have the fire, but I'm going to be 80 years old, almost 79. I'll be 83 if I were to be elected. I bring all these people out. Maybe I should change my behavior a bit or something. It's all a mystery right now. What is not a mystery is that there is no one on the left in the foreseeable horizon that is going to be a viable candidate. And that can change, but people look at Kamala Harris. The biggest problem on the left is, how do we get rid of Joe Biden right now and not have Kamala Harris, because constitutionally that we have no other alternative? And I'm not just saying that to be flamboyant, but we didn't hear one word about Hunter Biden's laptop's contents. We were told it was Russian disinformation. It was alleged. And all of a sudden, the last week, the Washington Post, the New York Times, everybody is talking about the horrendous, horrific things in the Biden laptop. And I think that will be followed by the Biden diary. And the point is, the left has decided that Biden is a road to perdition, and they want to get rid of him. And they look at the 500-word vocabulary of Kamala Harris, and they say, you know what, that's not. But maybe Pete Buttigieg, he's so glib, he's so well-spoken, even though he's even harder to the left, and he would only bring them more misery because their agenda is what's turning off people. And he is just a creature of the academic lounge, but nevertheless, because he's glib and he's gay and he's got all these left-wing criteria, they're looking at him now. But they've got a constitution in front of them that makes it very hard to appoint. It's not a parliamentary system.